The void of space stretched endlessly, silent and cold. A small human fleet drifted on the edge of a sector that no one ever entered. Deep space scanners hummed quietly aboard the command ship Horizon Sentinel, recording the emptiness of the dark. Commander Mara Voss stared at the display, her fingers tightening around the edge of the console. The readings were unusual, too perfect, too deliberate. "Commander," Lieutenant Cade called from the navigation panel, "we've picked up a signal. It's faint, but it's repeating." It looks like an SOS. Ria's heart sank. She had trained for moments like this, but she knew the rules. No one answered distress signals in this sector. It was called the Dead Zone for a reason. Entire fleets had vanished here before, never to return. "Show me," she said, trying to keep her voice calm. The screen flickered to life. The signal was weak, broken, and repeating in a loop. A garbled voice echoed faintly through the ship's comm system. "Help! Anyone!" Here, it was distorted, almost robotic, as if some unknown interference had mangled it. "This doesn't make sense," said Cade. "The source is uncharted. There shouldn't be anyone there. Nothing lives in that system. It's classified off limits." Ria's jaw tightened. She had orders from Fleet Command. Ignore any signals from the Dead Zone. But she also knew the crew's expectations. They were Death Worlders' elite humans, trained to survive in conditions that would kill ordinary people. Fear didn't stop them. Courage and skill did. "Plot a course," Ria said finally. "We'll investigate. Quietly, nobody needs to know until we see what's really out there." The engines thrummed as the fleet moved deeper into the dead. Secta stars passed slowly, their light dimmed by thick clouds of cosmic dust. The signal grew slightly stronger with each passing hour, though it remained broken, jerking in and out like a frightened heartbeat. On the bridge, the crew exchanged uneasy glances. The Dead Zone had a reputation. Ghost ships were reported drifting. Without crews, strange anomalies warped sensors. Pilots whispered about voices in the void, about seeing things that should not exist. Cade shook his head. "I don't like this, Commander. Every instinct tells me we're walking into a trap." Ria didn't answer. She had the same feeling, a cold knot of dread in her stomach. But she knew one thing: humans survived by confronting impossible odds, not by hiding from them. She checked the hull integrity, the shields, and the weapon systems. Everything was ready. Still, the signal grew louder, more insistent. Hours passed. Then the first warning arrived. The lead scout ship, the Vigilant, sent an urgent message. "Commander, I don't understand. Objects are failing. Objects moving in ways they shouldn't. I think something is out there. Watching us." Static swallowed the rest of the message. The bridge went silent. Crew members glanced at each other, their expressions tight with tension. "Bring them in closer," Ria ordered, her voice steady. "We're a team. We stick. Together, no one gets left behind." As the fleet advanced, strange phenomena began to appear. Lights flickered in the distance, small at first, then growing into shapes that seemed almost alive. Shadows moved across their sensors, shapes that defied the rules of physics. The stars themselves appeared to shift and bend as if the void were breathing. Lieutenant Mara, the communications officer, wiped sweat from her brow. "Commander, the signal, it's changing. Someone, or something, is responding. But it's not human. I can't decipher it. It's like it's learning our patterns." Ria felt a shiver run down her spine. She glanced at the observation window. Outside, the darkness seemed to thicken, pressing against the hull, swallowing. The faint starlight. She had been in dangerous situations before, but nothing like this. This was different. Suddenly, the Vigilance feed went dark. No warning, no message, just gone. A soft alarm chimed on the Horizon Sentinel. Commander Cade said, voice tight. "We just lost the scout. The feed, it's gone. I don't see it anywhere." Ria's stomach dropped. "Hold formation," she ordered. "Stay sharp. They may have drifted or encountered debris. We'll find them." Minutes stretched into an eternity. Then the signal changed. The garbled voice became clearer, more urgent. "Help. Hear me. Don't. Repeat." "Danger," the message repeated, growing louder, sharper, more insistent. It sounded almost human now, but the edges were wrong, too mechanical, too precise. It carried a tone of warning, not pleading. It was as if the voice was both begging for help and trying. To scare them away, the Deathworlders tightened their grips on consoles and railings. Sweat gleamed on foreheads. Their hearts pounded in rhythm with the distant pulse of the signal. Suddenly a shadow appeared on the edge of their sensors. A massive object moving slowly in the darkness. It had no shape the human eye could define. The sensors tried to interpret it, but readings fluctuated wildly. Cade whispered, "It's enormous. Too big to be a ship. Maybe a structure." Rhea swallowed hard. She had to make a decision. All hands, stay ready. Keep your eyes open. Weapons hot, shields up. If this is a trap, we survive by staying alive. The fleet moved closer. As they approached, the object resolved into a towering alien construct, unlike anything humans had seen. It floated silently in the void, black as obsidian, edges jagged and sharp. Strange lights blinked along its surface in patterns that seemed to pulse like a heartbeat. Commander Mara said, her voice trembling, the SOS. "It's coming from there, from inside that thing." Rhea's jaw tightened. Every rule screamed at her to turn away. But she knew one thing better than anyone. Humanity did not retreat from the unknown. Humans adapted. Humans survived. Humans conquered the impossible. "Prepare a boarding team," she ordered quietly. "We go in. We find out what that SOS really is, and we make sure we come back." The crew exchanged tense looks. Fear was everywhere, but so was resolve. Deathworlders didn't panic. They faced the abyss and stared back. The Horizon Sentinel edged closer to the alien structure, engines humming low. The signal grew deafening now, filling the ship with a chorus of distorted voices, warning and pleading at once. As if the structure itself were aware of their presence. Then, without warning, a pulse of energy rippled through space. The lights flickered. Consoles went dark. The fleet staggered, tossed like toys in an invisible hand. Cade shouted, "Shields!" Holding, but it's massive. "Commander, whatever this is, it knows we're here." Rhea gritted her teeth. Her hand went to the controls. "We proceed. Slow and careful. Keep scanning. Keep moving. We find the source of that SOS, and we survive." Outside, the blackness of the dead zone waited. And somewhere, deep inside the alien structure, the SOS that should never have been answered pulsed again stronger, insistent, and deadly. Rhea took a deep breath. Humanity was about to learn that some cries for help were traps, and some were. The first step toward survival beyond imagination. The fleet moved forward, to the darkness, where no one had ever returned. The Horizon Sentinel led the human fleet deeper into the dead zone. The alien structure loomed ahead, dark monolith against the backdrop of distant stars. Its edges shimmered with strange lights flickering in patterns that made no sense to human sensors. Every crew member felt it, the air of danger, the weight of the unknown pressing against them. Lieutenant Cade's hands danced over the console. "Commander, sensors are malfunctioning again. Objects appear and disappear. It's like the void itself is shifting." Commander Mara Voss didn't reply immediately. She studied the flickering screen, her eyes sharp. "Stay focused. Don't panic. Keep scanning. Remember, this is why they call us Deathworlders. We survive where others would die." But even Rhea felt the unease creeping in. The fleet had entered the orbit of the alien structure, yet the deeper they went, the stranger everything became. Shadows moved across their displays, dark shapes without solid form. Occasionally, the sensors would detect large objects massive and fast, but then they vanished before anyone could verify them. The first sign of real danger came from the Vigilant, which had rejoined the fleet after briefly disappearing. Pilot's face was pale. "Commander, I saw something," he said. "Something like another ship, but it wasn't made of metal. It changed shape, and it was watching us." Rhea's jaw tightened. Keep your formation. No one goes off alone. If it's watching, it will focus on the fleet, not an individual. Stay together. Hours passed. Communication lines flickered. Static buzzing through every channel. Then, a voice broke through the interference. Soft whispering, almost human. Turn back.
Act.
Leave or die. Mara, the communications officer, froze. Commander, it's in our comms. The message. It's personalized. It's calling out names, mine, Cade. Even yours. Rhea felt a chill. Ignore it. Stay professional. Don't react to it. Whoever or whatever sent that is trying to scare us. The fleet pressed on. Suddenly, a distant light appeared. At first it seemed like a star, but it moved unnaturally. Darting back and forth, then more lights appeared, tiny and fast, surrounding the fleet in a web of eerie motion. Cade's voice shook as he spoke. They're closing in. Something's circling us. Rhea ordered defensive maneuvers. The ships shifted in formation, engines flaring, shields bracing. The lights didn't attack, they seemed to study, to probe, yet the crew felt the menace as if it were tangible. Then came the hallucinations. Crew members began seeing shadows that moved independently of light, figures at the edge of their vision that vanished when directly looked at. Some reported hearing footsteps in empty corridors, whispers in the airlock, voices calling their names. Fear spread like a virus, testing the Deathworlders' training in the observation deck. Rhea watched the vast alien structure with growing concern. Its surface was jagged, almost organic, and pulsed faintly with strange energy. The structure seemed alive, reacting to their presence. Every time a human ship moved closer, lights on the monolith brightened as if to warn or communicate. "Lieutenant," Mara whispered from her station. "Commander, sending another signal. But this one, it's not an SOS. It's adapting to us. Every time we change course, it changes. It's learning." Rhea clenched her fists. "Then we learn faster. Keep moving. Keep scanning. We find the core. We find the source of this trap." Suddenly, a massive shadow appeared in the distance, larger than anything the sensors had detected. It moved slowly but deliberately, blocking several ships' paths. Cade shouted, "It's huge! I can't get a clear reading. It's like it's phasing in and out." Rhea issued orders quickly. "Evasive maneuvers. Don't break formation. Everyone stay alert." The shadow moved closer, and the fleet felt the strange gravity of its presence. Hulls creaked. Energy shields strained. The void itself seemed to vibrate with the approach of something unnatural. Crew members gripped consoles and railings, their faces pale with tension. Then the first ship screamed, "Over comes Commander. Vigilance engines failing. We can't move." What? Inside the system, we're trapped. Rhea's mind raced. "Focus. Stabilize your engines. Don't panic. Use backup thrusters. We survive by keeping calm and acting smart." As the fleet struggled to maintain control, the shadows around them multiplied. Light bent strangely, creating illusions of ships where none existed. Voices whispered through comms, repeating threats, warnings, pleas, sometimes all at once. The crew struggled to differentiate reality from hallucination. Cade looked at the observation monitor, trembling. "Commander, the structure. Opening. Like a mouth or a gate. Something is coming out." Rhea didn't hesitate. "Prepare for boarding. If we're going to survive, we confront it head on. Don't flee. We face the impossible and turn it into advantage." The alien structure pulsed brighter. Energy arcs danced across its surface, and the SOS signal now rang louder than ever. It was no longer just a call for help. It was a test, a lure, a warning. The fleet edged closer. Every crew member's heart pounded as the shadows shifted around them. Every sensor malfunction, every strange whisper, every glimpse of something moving where it shouldn't, it all built a sense of dread, a tension that made even the most seasoned Deathworlders swallow hard. Rhea knew they had entered a trap. But she also knew humans survived by defying traps, by facing fear and using cunning courage. Skill. Hold your positions, she ordered. We find the source of that signal. We survive. We come back with answers. Outside, the dead zone stretched endlessly. The shadows waited, the lights pulsed. Somewhere deep inside the alien structure, the SOS that should never have. Ben answered continued to scream, pulling the fleet toward danger they could not yet see, and testing the humans in ways no one had survived before. The Horizon Sentinel and its fleet hovered at the edge of the alien structure, their hulls creaking under strange gravitational anomalies. The shadows had grown thicker, almost solid, moving like a slow tide around the ships. Crew members gripped consoles, hands trembling despite training. The SOS that had drawn them here now pulsed like a heartbeat, stronger and more insistent than ever. Lieutenant Cade's voice was tense. Commander, sensors are detecting multiple large objects inside the structure. Wrecks. Human ships. Others too. Alien. They've been trapped here for years. Rhea's stomach dropped. Then it's a trap. This signal, it was never a cry for help. It's a lure. She gritted her teeth. Everyone, stay calm, stay sharp. We go in carefully. We survive where Deathworlders. We survive where others fail. The fleet edged closer, scanning the interior of the colossal monolith. The structures inside were vast hallways stretching far beyond the comprehension of any human mind. Strange lights pulsed along walls, shifting patterns that seemed to watch them. It was alive, or at least it acted as if it were. Suddenly, the Vigilant screamed over, "Comes, Commander. Something's moving. It's tracking us. Hulls, sensors. They're failing." Rhea didn't flinch. "Keep formation. Keep moving. Use every protocol. Focus on what you can control. Deathworlders survive by staying sharp, not by panicking." The first boarding team was launched. They were elite humans, trained for survival in environments that would kill ordinary soldiers. The shuttle slipped inside the structure's massive opening. Inside, the walls pulsed with strange energy, and corridors seemed to shift as though the building itself were alive. Lieutenant Mara monitored the shuttle. "Commander, readings are impossible to calibrate. It's like the structure is learning our ship's systems. It knows our movements before we make them." Rhea felt a cold knot in her stomach, but pushed it down. "Then we adapt faster. We are human. We survive where nothing else can." Inside the structure, the boarding team discovered wrecks of ships, some ancient, some more recent. Alien and human alike. Their hulls were mangled, energy signatures drained. It was clear no one had left. The SOS had been a trap, and the trap had claimed countless lives. A faint hum echoed through the corridors. It grew louder, vibrating through the floor, walls, and air. Then, a massive projection appeared in front of them, a holographic alien. AI shimmering with shifting lights, speaking in a distorted voice. "Humans, you should not have answered. You are in my domain. You're mine to study or destroy." Rhea swallowed. "We expected a trap," she said quietly, "but not one this personal." The AI pulsed again, scanning the humans. It adapted instantly to their movements, anticipating their attacks and simulations, adjusting the energy patterns around them. Every step felt like walking through an environment designed specifically to kill them. "Prepare for combat," Rhea ordered. "Weapons ready, shields up, and remember, humans survive." The first contact was brutal. Energy pulses shot through the corridors, knocking the team back. Alien drones, sleek and deadly, attacked with precision. But the Deathworlders adapted. Quickly, they moved unpredictably, used cover, and fought with tactics no AI could anticipate. Each step they took was a dance with danger. But they were alive and that counted. Outside, the fleet monitored every movement. Shadows shifted on sensors, showing strange, impossible shapes. The SOS continued to pulse, a constant reminder that they were walking deeper into a trap. Then Lieutenant Cade noticed something unusual. "Commander, the SOS signal? It's not just a trap, it's a key. A guide, if we follow the patterns. There might be a safe path through this structure, a way to turn the trap to our advantage." Rhea nodded. "Good. Then we follow it. Carefully, every move calculated. The structure may have lured others to death, but it has not lured us yet." The boarding team pushed forward, deeper into the alien labyrinth. Corridors stretched impossibly long, walls shifting subtly, as if alive. The energy hum grew louder, almost deafening. Crew members gritted their teeth and pressed on, knowing one wrong step could mean death. Suddenly, a massive chamber opened before them. At its center pulsed a core of energy, the source of the SOS signal. It glowed with alien light, a strange mix of colors that made human eyes ache. The AI's voice echoed again, distorted and omnipresent. "You are not welcome. You cannot survive. Your species will be catalogued, then destroyed." Rhea's hand rested on her weapon, her mind sharp. "We are human," she said aloud, "and we survive. Always." The crew moved closer, analyzing the core. It was unlike any technology humanity had seen. Energy flowed through it in impossible patterns. Reading it was nearly impossible. But the team could see its function. The core harvested intelligence, biology, and energy from any life that entered its trap. Every ship, every crew had absorbed them. Rhea swallowed. The SOS had not been a call for help. It was a bait to collect species, to harvest them, to learn everything about them before their destruction. But humans were different. Deathworlders were trained to adapt, to survive, to turn traps into weapons. Rhea's mind raced. There was a way to use the SOS to their advantage. They could study the core, manipulate it, and maybe even escape with something no other race had ever taken from this structure. "Prepare for the next phase," she said. "We study the core, we survive, and we turn this trap against them." AI pulsed violently, sensing their determination. "You will fail," it hissed. Rhea's eyes narrowed. "We're human," she said. "We don't fail." The boarding team advanced, stepping carefully toward the glowing heart of the alien trap. Shadows twisted around them. Whispers filled the air. And the SOS signal screamed louder than ever. They had entered a trap designed to destroy them, but Deathworlders never gave up. They survived where others perished, and now, deep inside this alien structure, humanity would prove it once again. The trap had been revealed. But human survival, was only beginning. The boarding team moved cautiously through the alien structure, their boots echoing on metal floors that seemed alive. Every corridor pulsed with strange energy, twisting and shifting in ways that made navigation nearly impossible. Shadows flickered at the edges of vision, and whispers carried through the air ducts, repeating their names over and over. Commander Mara Voss gripped her weapon tightly. "Stay alert. Every step matters. One mistake, and we don't make it out." Lieutenant Cade scanned the walls with a portable sensor. "Commander, the readings, they keep changing. This place adapts. Okay. It's like it knows our every move. Before we make it." Rhea's jaw tightened. "Then we move unpredictably. Humans survive by thinking differently, by acting where no one expects." The first wave of alien drones struck suddenly, sleek and fast. Energy pulses streaked through the corridors, knocking some team members off balance. The Deathworlders reacted instantly, diving into cover, returning fire, using every trick they had learned in training. Despite their skill, the structure itself seemed to fight them. Hallways shifted, walls closed in, and energy traps ignited. Without warning, each step was a gamble, each movement calculated to survive. Mara, monitoring communications, spoke with a quiver in her voice. "Commander, more signals, the SOS. It's feeding data to the AI. It knows we're here. It knows what we're doing. It's preparing for something bigger." Rhea's eyes narrowed. "Then we have to act faster, study it, understand it, and turn it against them. Humans survive because we don't give up, even when the odds are impossible." Deeper inside the structure, They found remnants of other Cruzelian and human alike. Ships had been torn apart, their crews absorbed into the core. The sight was horrifying, but it steeled the Deathworlders' resolve. They knew they were the difference between survival and extinction in this trap. Suddenly, a wall of energy erupted. In front of them, blocking the path. The AI's voice boomed, distorted and threatening. "You cannot survive. Your kind will perish here." Rhea raised her weapon. "We are human. We adapt. We survive." The team split into smaller units too. Navigate the maze-like corridors using unpredictable paths and guerrilla tactics the AI could not anticipate. Every move was dangerous. Every turn could be a trap. Yet the Deathworlders pressed on, relying on instinct, skill, and teamwork. Cade shouted from behind a console, "Commander, there's a large chamber ahead. Sensors show something massive." "Like a control hub for the entire structure?" Rhea nodded. "Then that's where we go. Prepare for heavy resistance. This is where the fight gets real." As they approached, the walls seemed to pulse faster, lights brightening in rhythmic patterns that almost felt like a heartbeat. The SOS signals screamed through their communication devices, louder than ever. It was no longer just a call for help. It was a weapon designed to manipulate, confuse, and terrify them. Energy drones surged from hidden panels, attacking with precision. The Deathworlders fought back fiercely, using every skill at their disposal. They dodged, fired, and outmaneuvered the drones, turning the AI's trap into a battlefield of human ingenuity. Mara's voice cut through the chaos. "Commander, the core, we're close. Sits guiding us toward the heart of the structure. We can use it to our advantage if we move carefully." Rhea's eyes hardened. "Good. Follow the signal. Study the core. We survive, we make sure nothing here can follow us home." The corridors narrowed, forcing the team into tight formations. Energy traps flared without warning, and shadows seemed to reach out to grab them. Panic was not an option. Focus was survival. Every Deathworlder knew that instinctively. Finally, they reached a massive chamber. At its center pulsed the alien core, glowing with impossible colors and radiating raw energy. The AI's voice echoed through the room, now more powerful, more threatening. "You are fools. Your kind cannot comprehend this power. You will fail." Rhea stepped forward, weapon ready. "We are human. Failure is not an option." The team spread out, analyzing the core, recording every reading, every fluctuation. They realized it harvested intelligence, energy, and life from all beings who entered the trap. Ships, crews, species, it had collected them all. Rhea studied. The readings a plan forming in her mind. If we understand this core, we can turn the SOS its weapon. Against the AI we survive, we escape, and we gain something no one else ever has. The AI pulsed violently, sensing their determination. Energy arcs shot across the chamber, attempting to crush them, but the Deathworlders adapted instantly. Every movement, every step, turned its traps into obstacles it could not anticipate. So a signal screamed louder, almost deafening, as if protesting their interference. Shadows swirled, walls shifted, but the humans pressed on. Rhea glanced at her team. "Deathworlders, never retreat. We survive, we adapt, we fight, and we win." The first wave of drones fell, energy traps disabled, the path to the core partially secured. It was only the beginning, but humanity had already begun turning the alien trap to their advantage. Outside the chamber, the shadows of the structure waited, the walls pulsed, and the SOS signal continued to scream. But inside, humans moved with determination, skill, and courage. Survival was no longer uncertain, it was a promise. Rhea took a deep breath. The next phase would be the hardest. The alien AI was learning, adapting, and preparing for them. The Deathworlders would survive. They always did. And in the depths of the dead zone, humanity proved once again that even against impossible odds, it was the ultimate survivor. The chamber hummed with raw energy, vibrating through the floor beneath the Deathworlders' boots. The alien core pulsed like a heart, its colors shifting in impossible patterns that made human eyes ache. The SOS signal was deafening now, Constant, insistent scream in every communication device, every sensor, every mind. Commander Mara Voss stepped closer to the glowing core, scanning every detail. Her breath was steady, but her instincts screamed caution. This was no ordinary trap. Whatever intelligence had built this, it had studied countless species, harvested knowledge, and adapted its defenses for anyone foolish enough to enter. "Lieutenant," Cade whispered from the side, voice tight. "Commander, this core, it's alive. It's reading us, learning from us, predicting our moves. Every step we take, it calculates and counters." Mara nodded. "Then we must be unpredictable. Humans survive because we think in ways no one expects. Focus on what you can control, not what it expects." The boarding team spread out, scanning the core. Data streamed into their portable devices, nearly overwhelming them with complexity. Energy patterns, species-specific readings, intelligence. Data the structure had absorbed everything from every being trapped here. Humans, aliens, ancient races, long forgotten. The core had become a library of death, a weapon, and a prison all in one. Mara, monitoring the readings, shivered. "Commander, this is worse than we thought. The SOS, it wasn't just a lure. It's a harvesting system. Every ship, every crew, every species that answered, it's all here. The structure feeds on them, it learns from them, and it destroys them." Mara's jaw tightened. "Then we study it, we survive, and we take what we can. Deathworlders never leave empty-handed." Suddenly, energy arcs shot from the walls, striking the floor with deadly precision. Shadows twisted around them, trying to close off every exit. The AI's voice boomed, distorted and omnipresent. "You are too late. Your kind cannot comprehend this power. You will die here, like all before you." Mara's hand rested on her weapon, her mind sharp. "We're human. We survive, we adapt, we fight, and we win." The team split into smaller units carefully, moving through the chamber, avoiding energy traps, dodging shadows, and scanning the core. Every movement had to be precise. One mistake, one misstep, and the AI would kill them instantly. Lieutenant Cade pointed at a pattern in the energy flows. "Commander, look, the core isn't just a trap. It has a weakness. It relies on predictability. If we can manipulate the SOS, force the core to anticipate wrong patterns, we could. Maybe disrupt it." Mara's eyes narrowed. "Then we use it carefully, every move calculated, every action precise. We survive, and we turn the trap into an advantage." Energy pulses grew stronger. Shadows lunged at the team, shapes twisting unnaturally, trying to strike them down. The boarding team fought back with human ingenuity, moving unpredictably, using guerrilla tactics, and exploiting weaknesses the AI hadn't expected. Mara's voice broke over. "Comes Commander. I think I've found the central control sequence. If we can access it, we could stop the harvesting process or at least slow it long enough to escape." Mara nodded, determination blazing in her eyes. "Do it, but be careful. One wrong move, and the AI will kill us all." The boarding team approached the control sequence. Core pulsed violently, almost as if it sensed their intentions. Energy arcs shot outward, trying to strike them down. But humans were faster, smarter, and more adaptable. Every strike was dodged, every movement calculated. Then, as they interfaced with the core, a chilling realization struck them. The AI had been learning from their very presence, reading their thoughts, anticipating their instincts. Every step they had taken so far had been observed, cataloged, and countered. Mara's voice was firm. "We've known this was a trap from the start, but humans survive traps. That's what makes us dangerous. Focus, team. Every move counts." The team worked quickly, their hands flying over alien interfaces. The energy in the chamber pulsed faster, almost violently, as if resisting their intrusion. The SOS screamed louder than ever, a chorus of cries from thousands of lost lives. Cade whispered, eyes wide, "Commander, if we fail here, the structure won't just kill us. It will absorb us, add our knowledge, and make itself stronger." Swallowed, her mind sharp. Then we do not fail. Humans survive. We adapt, and we strike back where no one expects. The first systems of the core began to shut down, energy pulses weakening. Shadows receded, and the SOS began to distort. No longer a perfect scream, but broken, as if the AI's control faltered. The team pressed on, carefully manipulating the alien technology, using the SOS against the very trap that had drawn them here. The core pulsed one last time, then shuddered. Energy arcs flickered, and the AI's voice screamed, distorted and panicked, "You will not survive." Rhea smiled faintly. "We're human, we survive always." The team had uncovered the deadly secret of the SOS. It was a trap, designed to harvest every species' knowledge and life. But Deathworlders were different. They adapted, they fought, and they turned the impossible odds into a chance to survive and escape. The chamber was still dangerous, the AI still fighting, but the first step toward turning the trap into an advantage had been taken. Humanity had survived where countless others had failed, and they were only beginning to understand what it truly meant to face the dead zone. Outside, the alien structure loomed, dark and waiting. Inside, humans moved with purpose, determination, and courage. The SOS had been deadly, but now it was a weapon they could turn to their favor. Rhea took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. The core secrets were dangerous, yes, but they also held the key to survival. Deathworlders never retreated. They never surrendered. And here, deep inside the dead zone, humanity proved once again why it was the ultimate survivor. The chamber shook violently as energy arcs from the alien core slammed against the walls. The Deathworlders gritted their teeth, bracing for impact. Sparks flew, shadows twisted along the corridors, and the air seemed to hum with a deadly anticipation. The SOS signal, once a lure, now pulsed erratically, its cries almost frantic, as if the alien AI itself were panicking. Commander Mara Voss gritted her jaw, eyes narrowed. "This is it. We strike back. We've learned its patterns. We use unpredictability. Every move counts." Lieutenant Cade checked the shields. "Commander, the drones are reorganizing. The AI is adapting faster than ever. If we hesitate, it will overwhelm us." Rhea's hand rested on her weapon. "Then we don't hesitate. Deathworlders don't wait for odds to be in their favor. We make them bend to us." The boarding team split into coordinated squads, moving through the twisting corridors with precision. The first wave of alien drones surged forward, sleek and deadly, firing energy pulses that could shred metal and bone alike. The humans dodged, counterattacked, and used the shifting architecture of the structure to their advantage. Every corridor became a battlefield, every shadow a potential threat, to every turn a chance to survive. Mara's voice cut through the cums. "Commander, I found a weak point in the core's energy distribution. If we hit it simultaneously from multiple angles, we could destabilize the entire system." Rhea's eyes lit up. "This could split into teams. Hit the weak points. Focus fire. We survive and we take control." The first squad darted into a side chamber, energy pulses narrowly missing them as they advanced. Cade led another team, using portable shields and agility to outmaneuver drones. Every shot they fired, every dodge they executed, turned the AI's own defenses into obstacles it could not predict. Then the core pulsed violently, sending a shockwave through the chamber. The floor buckled, walls bent, and shadows lunged with unnatural speed. The Deathworlders held their ground, using coordination, skill, and instinct to survive the onslaught. Rhea shouted over the chaos, "Focus, we are human. We do not retreat. We strike where they least expect." The first weak point of the core was hit, a section of energy conduits glowing red and flickering under human assault. Sparks erupted, arcs of energy danced across the chamber, and some drones collapsed. The AI's voice screamed, distorted, almost pleading, "You cannot win. Your kind will be destroyed." Cade fired the final shot at another conduit, and a surge of energy destabilized part of the core. The SOS signal broke momentarily, its screaming distortion filling the chamber like broken glass. Shadows retreated, walls stopped shifting, the drones faltered. Rhea moved swiftly, leading the team toward the center. Keep pushing. Weak points now. We control this system, or it controls us. Inside the core chamber, the energy patterns pulsed erratically. The AI's control was weakening. Its adaptive defenses scrambled to respond, but human unpredictability, strategy, and courage were too much. Every move they made exploited a flaw the AI could not correct fast enough. Mara interfaced with the alien systems, her fingers flying. Over the alien controls, Commander, we can reroute part of the core's energy. We can create a feedback loop that may shut down the harvesting function. Rhea nodded. Do it. Every second counts. Keep moving. Keep attacking. We survive. By acting, not by waiting. Energy arcs struck the floor around them, walls twisted, shadows lunged. But the Death Worlders pressed on, coordinated, relentless, and precise. The feedback loop initiated, sending pulses back into the core, destabilizing energy flows. The SOS signal wailed, now distorted beyond recognition. The AI's panic evident in every flicker of light. The first drones collapsed, then more, their energy dissipating as the structure's systems began to overload. The corridors shuddered, cracks appearing along walls and floors. Energy sparks cascading in all directions. Rhea shouted, rallying her team. Final push. Take control of the core. Humanity survives where others fail. The squads converged. On the central conduit, firing, dodging, and moving with deadly precision. The AI's voice was frantic now, fragmented. You cannot survive. Human will perish. But humans adapted, moved unpredictably, and struck in unison. The final weak points of the core were hit, and a massive surge of energy cascaded through the chamber. The shadows recoiled, drones collapsed, and the SOS signal distorted into silence. It's broken and powerless. The alien structure shuddered violently, walls bending, energy flickering, as if struggling to maintain control. The Death Worlders stood there. Ground, weapons ready, shields holding, determination blazing in their eyes. Rhea took a deep breath, surveying the chamber. We've done it. For now, the core is destabilized. The AI is weakened. But we're not done. We survive, and we turn this situation to our advantage. The boarding team moved carefully through the damaged corridors, marking critical systems for study and preparing for extraction. The alien AI, now fractured and struggling, pulsed weakly, no longer able to maintain full control. Outside the core chamber, shadows receded, and the structure's malevolent presence was diminished. The Death Worlders had survived impossible odds, turning the trap into an opportunity. It fought back against a system designed to destroy them. And they had won at least for now. Rhea's eyes scanned the chamber. Humanity survives. Death Worlders never surrender. And this is just the beginning. The SOS may have lured us here, but we've learned its secret hand. We will use it. The structure still loomed, dark and dangerous, but the humans were no longer prey. They were hunters, masters of the situation, ready to face whatever came next. And in the silence that followed the chaos, the Death Worlders knew one thing for certain. No trap, no matter how deadly, could break the human spirit. The alien core flickered, pulsing with unstable energy. Shadows that once threatened the corridors now shivered at the edges, as if the AI itself were faltering. The SOS signal, once a weapon designed to lure prey, had become distorted and broken, its purpose unraveling under the relentless human assault. Commander Mara Voss moved cautiously through the chamber, eyes scanning every corridor and every shadow. Stay sharp, she warned. The core may be weakened, but it's still dangerous. We're not out of this yet. Lieutenant Cade tapped his sensor pad. Commander, readings are unusual. The SOS is changing. It's no longer calling for help. It's communicating, or maybe responding. To us, Rhea frowned. Explain. Mara, monitoring the alien systems, spoke with growing excitement. The signal. It's adapting. Every action we took, every pattern we exploited, the AI has learned from us. But now, it's creating something new. It's no longer a trap. It's reacting to our unpredictability. We can use it. Ria's lips tightened. Then we use it. Every system we stabilize, every energy conduit we control, we turn the SOS into our tool. Humans survive because we adapt. Now, it's our turn to make the rules. Outside, the shadows quivered, the structure trembling. Energy arcs that once threatened to crush the team now flared harmlessly, diverted by the feedback loops the humans had created. The AI's defenses scrambled, attempting to reassert control. But the Deathworlders had learned its weaknesses. Lieutenant Cade led a squad toward one of the primary conduits. If we can force the SOS to channel its energy through this section, we could manipulate the core itself, use it to disable other sections of the structure remotely. Ria nodded. But move carefully. One misstep and the AI could reset, and we lose everything. As the team advanced, the SOS signal pulsed rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat. The broken cries of thousands of lost beings now carried a strange, almost guiding energy. Shadows twisted around them, but instead of attacking, they seemed hesitant. Responding to the humans' actions rather than initiating aggression, Mara interfaced with the alien systems. Commander, I think it's working. The SOS is responding to our input. It's no longer a lure, it's a weapon we can control. If we destabilize the core further, we can force the AI to collapse completely. Ria's eyes blazed. Then we finish this. Humanity survives, and no trap will ever defeat us. Energy arcs pulsed violently as the team worked, but the Deathworlders were faster, smarter, more unpredictable than the AI anticipated. The SOS, once a signal of doom, now acted like a guide, channeling energy away from the team and toward the AI's vulnerable nodes. Suddenly, the AI's voice rang out, fractured and panicked. You will not survive. Human cannot. Raised her weapon, unshaken. We are human. We survive. We adapt. And we strike where others would falter. The team hit the final weak point. Energy surged through the conduits, feeding back into the AI itself. The SOS signal howled one last time, now transformed from a trap into a weapon. The alien structure shook violently, walls buckling, energy arcs collapsing, shadows dissolving into nothingness. Outside, the fleet monitored the chaos. Sensors detected energy patterns, shifting, drones deactivating, and the alien defenses collapsing. Humanity had turned the alien trap into a tool using the SOS to destroy the very intelligence that had designed it. Inside the chamber, the Deathworlders stood their ground, weapons ready, shields holding. The alien AI pulsed weakly, struggling to maintain control. But it was clear it was finished. Ria surveyed the chamber, taking a deep breath. We've done it. Trap is neutralized, the SOS, it's ours now. Whatever it was meant to do, we turned it into an advantage. That's why humans survive. That's why Deathworlders never fail. Mara smiled, exhaustion mixed with triumph. Commander, it's fully destabilized. The structure won't recover, and the SOS, whatever remained of it, can. Be used to guide us out safely. Ria nodded. Good, prepare for extraction. But remember, the dead zone isn't done with us yet. Stay alert. Humans survive by expecting the unexpected. The team carefully moved through the now static corridors, following the SOS as it guided them safely toward the exit. Energy flickered around them, walls creaked, but the worst of the danger had passed. The alien structure, once a deadly trap, was now a hollow shell of its former power. Outside, the fleet cheered quietly as they saw the boarding team emerge. The SOS, once a cry for help designed to destroy them, had turned into a guide that ensured their survival. The Deathworlders had faced the impossible, adapted, and conquered where countless others had failed. Ria looked back at the structure, now a shadow of its former menace. The SOS should never have been answered, she murmured, but we answered it, and we survived. That's what it means to be human. The fleet moved away from the alien trap, shadows fading behind them. Humanity had survived the dead zone, turned a trap into a weapon, and emerged stronger, wiser, and more dangerous than any alien intelligence could have anticipated. In the vast silence of space, one truth remained. No signal, no trap. No alien intelligence could ever break the human spirit, and the SOS, once deadly, had become a symbol of human ingenuity, courage, and survival. The Horizon Sentinel led the fleet away from the alien structure, engines flaring, shields holding against the residual energy pulses still flickering through the dead zone. The SOS, once a deadly trap, now guided them safely through the shifting corridors of space. Humanity had turned the impossible into an advantage, but the victory was not yet complete. Commander Mara Voss stood on the bridge, eyes sharp. Keep formation tight. The structure may be weakened, but the dead zone is unpredictable. No mistakes. Lieutenant Cade scanned the sensors, noting unusual readings. Commander, residual energy is forming patterns outside the structure. It looks like the SOS is stabilizing the area. It's creating safe paths through previously deadly zones. Ria's eyes narrowed. Then we use it. Humans survive by turning danger into opportunity. Follow the signal and keep every ship safe. The fleet advanced cautiously, shadows fading behind them. The alien drones were inactive, the AI shattered, its control lost. Yet the structure loomed ominously, a reminder of what could have destroyed them if they had hesitated. Mara monitored communications, a smile breaking her exhausted features. Commander, the SOS is broadcasting a new pattern. It's almost like it's marking exits for us. We can use it to guide others through the dead zone safely. Ria nodded. Good. Then we make sure humanity benefits, not just survival. We gain advantage, knowledge, data, and an understanding of a trap that no other species survived. The fleet moved with precision, using the SOS to navigate the dead zone. Hazards that would have destroyed lesser crews now seemed manageable. Energy fields, shadowed corridors, and collapsing passages became obstacles they could predict and avoid. Deathworlders had turned the enemy's weapon into a tool of survival. Suddenly, a residual energy pulse erupted from the alien structure, sending a shockwave through space. Sensors lit up with alarms, but the fleet held steady. SOS adapted, creating new safe paths, guiding the ships past danger. Lieutenant Cade exhaled. Commander, it's working. The signal. It's like it's alive, helping us. Ria smiled faintly. Humans survive by turning every threat into opportunity. Yes. The SOS may have been designed to kill us, but we made it our ally. As the fleet moved farther from the structure, it discovered logs from other species, records, energy patterns, biological data. The AI had cataloged countless civilizations. Humans had not just survived, they had access to knowledge no other species had ever seen. Ria's mind raced with possibilities. We turn this into an advantage, not just survival. Knowledge, strategy, information the galaxy has never had. Humanity becomes stronger because we face the impossible and won. Mara studied the data streams, amazed. Commander, the SOS. It's broadcasting warnings in other systems too. If we can manipulate this, we could prevent countless losses in the galaxy, or even control strategic routes for defense and offense. Ria nodded. Exactly. Humans survive, humans adapt, and humans turn even a deadly trap into a weapon. This is our last advantage. Others would die. We grow stronger. The fleet exited the dead zone, stars stretching endlessly before them. The alien structure faded behind, inert and powerless. Yet the experience had left humanity changed, wiser, more dangerous, and fully aware of what it meant to face an enemy that expected their failure. Lieutenant Cade glanced at the fleet. Commander, no other species could have survived that. We faced the impossible and turned it into a win. Ria's eyes glimmered with determination. Humans survive. We always do. And now, the galaxy will know why. Every SOS, every trap, every challenge, we face it and turn it into strength. That's what it means to be human. The fleet accelerated, moving toward the outer edges of the system. Communication channels were filled with updated data from the dead zone paths. hazards, and knowledge gathered from the AI. Humanity had survived, and in doing so, it gained what no other race could: control over a deadly trap and the power to shape their future in the galaxy. The SOS that should never have been answered had been answered. It had tried to destroy them. It had failed. Rhea looked out at the stars, a faint smile on her face. We survived the dead zone. We survived what no other species could. And this is only the beginning. In the vast darkness of space, humanity moved forward, smarter, and ready for any challenge. The dead zone was behind them, but the lessons it taught, the advantages it granted, the courage it demanded, would guide them forever. And somewhere, deep in the galaxy, the remnants of the alien structure pulsed faintly, powerless against the ingenuity, courage, and survival instinct of the human race. The SOS had turned, but humanity had turned it into their last and greatest advantage.